Dear friends, welcome back. In this video, I'd like to go through one machine on the Van Hub, which is TED1. The link will be put into the description section below. I think this machine is very interesting, which involve a variety of techniques. Before we go ahead, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. You're greatly appreciated. So enough talk, let's just get started. We can switch over to Kali Linux VM. First of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target. The utility I'd like to use, as always, would be netdiscover. As you can see over here, the IP address of the target could be recognized as 144. We can note such information down to our notebook in case we need such information afterwards. So what do we have to do next? We need to do the port and self-scanning with a map. To save time of this video, I've already completed before. So for now, we just get out its result. As you can see over here, I used the options like scene scan, the virtual scan, the default script scan, for different surface. The Nmap has its corresponding script. Of course, this here is just doing default script, and followed by the -p to do the full range port scan. The last option for all is ON to output the result into this file. We can notice from the output of the map to tell that the target has only one open port number, which is 80, and running HTTP service, and also its corresponding version information, Apache 2. So I think we can also put this information into a notebook. So the port number is 80, and HTTP service, Apache 2. Okay, so I think it's very clear. What shall we do next? We need to do the immersion with this web application, both manually and automatically. So then let's fire up the browser of Firefox to do the manual immersion first. Press enter, and we are prompted by the user login panel. And before we try to log in, we need to check its source code. But nothing here, very simple source code. And also we need to check the robots file. Not found. So next we can try to use the weak credential like admin as username and also admin as password login, but nothing returned. And also we can try to use the login bypass technique to test login, but it doesn't work. So next, I think we can launch the Nikto to do the automatic immersion. As you can see over here, Nikto can immerse the web application from different aspects, such as the banner information, although this information can be retrieved by the Nmap as well, and also the header, and also the cookie without HTTP only flag, but this one will not become our vector to penetrate. So I don't think we cannot find anything useful from the Nikto. So next we can launch the GoBuster directory immersion. The IP address of the target. And we can use the -w to specify the word list. For GoBuster, if you want to enumerate directory, you must explicitly specify the word list, not like dub, okay? Directory, GoBuster, directory, and extension option. Press enter. If you have already followed my channel, you know that I always prefer the GoBuster, although in some cases we need to use other options such as dub, dir search. I think GoBuster has already found some pages like home and also the index PHP file, logout, cookie. So maybe we can note down such information to our notebook. We can, what I'm doing, we can copy. And so the web application. And you can notice here, although cookie logout, I think this would be useless. And in terms of these last two files or pages, cookie and authenticate, from its status code, you know, the 302, it means that redirection, and it will be redirect to the index file. In other words, we should be authenticated first to access such a page, okay? So I think we need to keep it into our minds as we proceed, okay? And we can access the home PHP. Not found. And also the index. So I think we have already done almost everything what we can so far, but nothing useful we have already got. I think now we can try to launch the SQL map to test the vulnerability of the SQL injection, okay? So we can turn on the proxy to Burp Suite. So all traffic triggered from the client will be passing through the Burp Suite. And then we can intercept the request. Next. And the proxy intercept is on. And then we can trigger new request like admin as username, password as password login. And the Burp Suite has intercepted the request. Then we can copy this request to file. We can use any file name like rec for me. Save. And then we can pull up the terminal to launch the SQL map with option for R to specify the request file. And yes. Unfortunately, we cannot, you know, maybe the web application is not vulnerable to the SQL injection vulnerability. Okay, so we just let it finish, and then we need to find something else. Maybe it's time to analyze the request and response in more detailed way, okay, or in closer way. And to do that, we can get back to Burp Suite, and then we can, you know, we can send a request to repeater, a module. And then, so by this module, we can know how the web application is behaving for our submitted data. For example, here we submit the username as admin, and also the password field is password, so we can send. And we got this one, password or password hash is not correct. Make sure to hash it before submit. This information is not explicitly presented or displayed on the page. So I think, using the Burp Suite would be very good way to make a deeper analysis. Okay, so how about we change the password to another one, admin, and then we can send. So I think from so far you can understand its power of the repeater module. We just we can play the different requests within this module. Okay, so we can send. I think here we got different response. So the password hash is not correct. Just now the response is password or password hash is not correct. So I think at this point we can guess that the admin itself is correct. However, we need to submit the hashed value of the admin. Okay, but unfortunately the web application or the author didn't tell us the type of the hash algorithm. The hash, so many hash algorithm like MD5, SHA, even SHA has different types. Okay, so next I'd like to use the Python to launch Crack. Okay, and now we can, of course, I have already opened up the PyCharm, and we can create the file like login Crack. I like Python very much. This one is so great programming language. And the major module would be the I think I'd like to show you a much more convenient way to code. Okay, and let's go back to the browser, and maybe I can turn off the proxy temporarily, and then we can open the inspect and navigate to network tab, and we can launch or trigger new request. We can proxy admin password login, and as you can see here, we can right click and copy as queue, and the request will be copied, and then we can go to this website. This website can help us to convert queue request to Python code. Okay, so then we can copy to PyCharm. Okay, so very easy. We just what we need to do is to do some small modification. For example, we can import the time module because we want to launch attack time module, and we can define the login function, and we need to give the password as argument, and we can indent this piece of code, and also we do not need to use cookie, so we just remove it. And also, of course, here we can remove this field, and here we need to change it to password. Okay, and then if the login, as you can see here, if the login is in the page, in the response, it means that our password is not correct. Okay, not in response text, and then we can print out the password. Okay, and then even we can exit from the program. We can import because we have already found correct password. Now next, we need to define the second method. We need to create the word list generator, and we do not need to give any arguments. So we can MD5 password. Okay, so I think the encoded string is admin, and we need to encode UTF-8, and then MD5 password should be or MD5 hash should be. Oh, we need to import another very important module, which is #lib. You know, this one can help us to make hash calculation. So we can try to use #lib MD5. Okay, and we need to pass the encoded string and hex digester. Okay, and SH. Of course, because there's so many hash types, we just for the purpose of the I do not want the video to be so long, so I just choose some common hashes. Okay, SHA1 #lib SHA encoded string hex digest, and also SHA #lib SHA encoded string hex digest. Okay, so now we can return. Of course, now by default the such hash result would be in lowercase. However, we do not know which type of character is used in password, so we can we can MD5 hash, and also we can generate or convert to the upper or uppercase. Okay, SHA upper SHA upper. Okay, so we can return this list. Then we can code the major logic of this program. We can for password in password, and then we can login password, and we can use time slip for 1 second between each request. So I think that's pretty much it. We can run this program to see whether there is any error. We can activate the Python virtual environment. We can use Python, and sorry, we can. Okay, now we run it. Because the password list is very small. As you can see, we successfully got the correct password. We can copy and note it down to our notebook. So the username and its password. And now I think we can close up the PyCharm to save the resource of my Kali Linux. Now we can go back to the browser, And we can close up the developer 2 admin. And now we can log in. As you can see, we successfully logged in as admin. However, very simple page. Welcome back. And search cookies policy. We can open link. And we got the cookie. I think this page has been found by GoBuster earlier. Although at that time, we cannot access this file directory. We need to be authenticated first. And here give us, I think this one must mean something for us, or some sort of hint left by the author. But for now, we just put it aside for a while. Let's come back to the home page of this application. Here has one, search field or form. We can search anything. Hello. Nothing. Show results for hello. So a bit weird. However, if you notice the information at the top, simple file browser. So the title of the page itself has already told us what this page is used for. Maybe we can browse file, okay? For example, we can try to access the password file. As you can see, we successfully retrieved the password file. And from this file, we can get to know the username information, Ted. We can also, so the username is Ted, okay? So far, we have already identified the local file inclusion vulnerability. Of course, although this is authenticated local file inclusion vulnerability. But the question is how to exploit this file inclusion vulnerability. And I'd like to make a very quick recap. First of all, we need to retrieve the password file, and also we need to see whether we can retrieve other files like the bash history. Sometimes we can get something back from such bash history. Next, we need to check whether we can access the log file, the var log, also log file. Because if we can access this file, then we can try to poison this log file to get our initial foothold or get the shell, okay? Also, we can try to access the Apache 2 or Nginx access file, access log, okay? And also we can try to, try to check whether the target is vulnerable to the remote file inclusion vulnerability, okay? So, of course, this is very normal methodology when we'll deal with the file inclusion vulnerability. So let's do it in action. Just now we have already retrieved the password file. Next, we can check whether maybe we can, we can use the Burp Suite to do this job. The repeater module I've already demonstrated earlier. It's very useful. In this case, we can turn on the proxy again, and we can search. Oh, sorry, I forgot to set the interceptor option to be on, and then we can do it again. And then we can send this request to repeater module. Okay. Now we can try to access different files. For example, like we need to check whether, sorry, I think very important thing I forgot to mention is try to access the private key, okay? Very important. And the now we try to access the private key, TET, SSH, private key. Of course, even the private key it's there. This doesn't work because the SSH service is not running. Okay, now we can send, nothing returned. Okay, next we can try to access the bash. Also, we need, sorry, I think we need to make URL encoding. Okay, we can decode the home and TED, and we can encode as URL, and then repeater, put it over here, nothing here, right? So next, I think we can try to, for example, like the bash history, bash history, and we can copy, send, nothing. Next, we can try to access the log file, and we can copy, repeater, send, nothing returned. And also we can try to access the Apache 2 file, access Apache 2, access log, and we can copy and put over here, send. So nothing returned. It means that you know, this mission cannot be done by usual way. We need to, we need to find our hint or instruction from the web application itself. Okay, so I think just now I mentioned here has one page, cookie page, and this page just some description about the cookie and or about the cookie, and also the so the cookie policy. Cookie can be persistent, so maybe this page is just telling us we need to poison the session file. Okay, but before we do that, I'd like to get this file authenticate, and to get the source code of this page, we can use some sort of the filter. Okay, so we can the PHP filter, and we can copy and put over here. This is also very famous and common methodology, right? And we can try to access the authenticate PHP file to get its source code. We can copy, and maybe I do not want to encode it again. We can turn off the intercept and put it over here, and then browser will, the client will encode for us automatically, and we can search. As you can see, we got this result back from the target, and we can copy, and then we can decode, pipe to base 64. So we got, so then we can get its source code and the cookie, and we'll set the cookie And also by analyzing the, for example, if we open up the inspect and go to the storage, we know that the cookie has one key, user pref. And here also we'll set the cookie. And the cookie will be set to the session file. So what should we do next? We should access the session file. And of course, you can use Google. We need to know the location of such a file. And normally would be 2 locations, the temp and also the Unix-like systems. And also the file name would be this one, ses followed by the underscore and this PHP session ID. And the PHP session ID, we have already got that from here. We can copy. Ses. So now we try to access this file, and we can go back. Sorry, what I'm doing. Now we can try to access the PHP. Of course, so you need to try. Okay, for example, you can try to access the temp directory. And if this we cannot get, and then we can try this one. Search. But nothing here. Show the var. Lib. Lib PHP sessions. Search. As you can see, we can access this file. So I think the next job for us is to try to, poison this field, user pref. Okay, so how to do? We can try to write the malicious PHP code, for example, like a reverse shell command. And how to do? We can, for example, we can try to write PHP and system and netcat followed by the IP address of the Kali Linux followed by the port number. Okay, and we need to encode, make URL encode. You can go to the website of this one, not this one. Yeah, this one we can come here and we can encode. We can copy and paste over here. And also, this should be the absolute path of the session file should be encoded as well. We can copy and paste over here to encode. We can copy and then we can paste over here. So next, we can try to poison this file. We can put, and we can use we can turn on the intercept option, search, and then we can send the repeater module, and we can copy the reversal command from my notebook, and we can change this one. Now we can send. Oh, sorry, I think we need to set up the listener first. Send. As you can see, we successfully got the collection from the target. So wonderful. Sometimes you need to send the request second time or twice, okay? And next we can spawn a better shell by Python. Python 2 is there. Import pty spawn. All right. Next, we need to do some local enumeration. Also, we can export the term variable. So then we can clear the screen when necessary to get, oh, sorry, export term, xterm color, and then we can clear, okay? And we need to do some local enumeration. We know that there's just only one normal user, Ted, but nothing here. Go to the OPT, nothing here. Go to var, go to backups, nothing here. Go to bash history. Great, bash. But at this moment, we don't have permission to retrieve the bash history. We can go to the HTML subdirectory, but nothing here. So next, I think it will be wiser to upload the NumPy shell script to do the automatic enumeration, right? We can copy from my toolsets directory, and then we can set up the web server on the Kali Linux to upload this file, okay? It's done, and we can make it executable, and then we can run it. I think the kernel is vulnerable since it's not updated, but I'm not going to take the kernel exploit to elevate privilege. It's done, all right. Then we can scroll up. We need to pay much attention to those information highlighted in red or yellow color. So much output by this script. The binaries with the capabilities information, but nothing we can exploit here. And also the binary with SUID bit. So the MyCircle collection using default loot. So I think we can connect to MyCircle. All right, maybe afterwards we can try to do that. We do not need to consider the MySQL database, because the current user www.data can run apt. This is the packet manager. We can use this command to download and install the package. So I think we can utilize this command to elevate. The question is how to do. We can go to the website of the the GTF OBIMS apt sudo. So the 3 ways to execute this command to elevate privilege, but I'd like to take this one, which can work very well. As you can see, we have already become the root user or super user. Then we can navigate to root directory. And because it's not necessary to grab the flag here for this machine. So I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.